The Salvation Army here in Tampa gets to be there right on the front lines so that when men and women choosing to leave trafficking or coming out of places where they're really maybe even in danger, we can be there for them.
There is tremendous hope to end this horrendous injustice. I know working with survivors, many will tell us, please don't focus on the doom and the gloom. Don't focus on the negative of what's happened to us because it triggers us. We want to focus on the hope and the restoration side that we know and many survivors know that only Jesus Christ can bring. So the Salvation Army, again, is perfectly positioned to be that hope, to shine the light of God's hope to the survivors of human trafficking.
The Salvation Army has a unique position in Tampa, and it has for a long time because it has this shelter model that it can provide emergency housing for women. And it can also provide a very quick response to women who are being trafficked or women who are looking for an immediate out. It takes a community to exploit a woman, so it also takes a community to build her up and get her back into a healthy place. And so to have those partnerships and really be able to have different agencies caring for her in different ways, or different people, leaders that are speaking into their lives is really important.
The Salvation Army in Fort Worth really comes alongside its leaders in the Fort Worth area and the Dallas area in helping eradicate human trafficking. We really are committed to rescuing our victims off the street and putting them in an environment that is conducive for them, that they need for therapeutic services. They can be here for 6 months up to 2 years, and then they will receive permanent supportive housing once they graduate our programs.
One of the things I love about our partnership with Salvation Army is not only are they right down the road from us, but it's also where a lot of our women stay and have the opportunity to just receive the case management that they need, substance treatment, supportive classes and counseling and those type of things that we aren't able to provide. And so I love that our ladies get to stay here at Salvation Army.
We are looking to work together well into the future. They have been there at every beck and call that we have made. They have great staff, and we are just very fortunate to have this salvation organization in our community.
There's not enough services for adult survivors, and I tell people these adults were once children, and some of the adults I have now I've seen when they were 13, 14, 15 in juvenile court and just never got the help or just fell through the cracks or the cycle continued, and here it is now that they're adults. They need services too.
What we see mostly here at Haven Atlanta are vulnerable women who are in a community that lack resources and who have fallen as victims to traffickers who have exploited them based off of their vulnerabilities. What we do here at Haven Atlanta is we provide a support system so that they come into our program and really feel supported, because when you lack resources and lack support, trafficking usually happens.
Sometimes people come to a space and they feel like that's it. There's nothing else. But when you have an opportunity to work with them and get them to see that there is more, that they can accomplish more, that God has he had a plan when he created them, a plan and a purpose, and it's an important one. And knowing that everything that they experience is a part of their journey, it equips them for what it is that he's called them to do. Empowering them with that information and then seeing what they do with it is amazing. It's amazing.
The Salvation Army is the primary partner that our office works with to provide direct social services to victims of human trafficking. Salvation Army continues to provide services to those victims, and we will work with Salvation Army and communicate with them to make sure that the victims that we're working with on the law enforcement side are getting the social services that they desperately need on an ongoing basis.
Human trafficking is a problem no matter where you live. It might not appear that it is, but it definitely exists. And it's happening next door and most people don't even know it. It doesn't discriminate on age, sex, race, or socioeconomic status. It exists every single place that you're walking. And for the most part, people never recognize that it's there.
Everyone can do something. And anything we do is going to improve the quality of life in our community. So it may feel like a small step, but if we're all taking small steps, that's a huge step forward. And that's what I think we're seeing now, is there are more people taking those small steps.
Normally when people hear about human trafficking, they hear about the devastating stories, they hear about the brokenness and the trauma. There's another side to that, right? There's another side where survivors can move past their stories, move past their trauma, move past their trafficking experience, and blossom into something beautiful. That path to restoration, it's going to be a long one, and we're not promising it's going to be an easy one, right? But what we want to do is be beside and provide support while you're on that path to restoration.
I had been looking for quite some time where the Army fit in the area of what we were going to do, because I had a passion for helping those in human trafficking. I'd had it for several years and was wanting to do something here in the area because it was a hot spot. I had been attending the meetings for about a year, and one day the head of the victim services team stood up and said, there's a home and it's owned by the Daughters of Charity, and they want to give it to someone, whoever wanted to do something with human trafficking. And I just felt the Lord saying in my heart and in my mind, that's it, that's what I want you to do.
I just got to tell you that it's hard, but we can help them. And I know that the Salvation Army and this agency has done so well.